Kim Kardashian clarifies controversial work comments after Backlash. It kind of puts a wrench in the idea that she's a mastermind, because I knew that anybody who heard this knew that this was going to get taken out of context when they heard it. Somebody as media savvy as she...
Kim, what's your end game, you know?
Why are you keep doing this to everyone?
I don't understand why people are so offended. She's just saying, like, hey, you want to be a modern woman? This work.
See, I think it's more that, like, her response is like, people just don't want to work these days. And then what happened afterwards, a bunch of people who work for her are like, you don't pay a fair wage and we're always broke trying to...
I'm still waiting to know what the exact number for a fair wage is.
It's really hard to say. It's one of the most controversial topics, I think, because, like...
It would depend on where you live.
Yeah, and, like, if you think about
which is why a federal minimum wage is stupid.
Yeah, and everyone has a different opinion about what minimum wage means. Like, should you be able to support a family on minimum wage? Should you be able to support one person on minimum wage? Like, where does minimum wage fall in our understanding of how much, like, a professional should earn?
My favorite meme of all time is, like, once upon a time, a mall shoe salesman could afford a house like this for a family of 5, and it was Al Bundy from Married with Children, or for a family of 4. And it just shows the house that he lived in the show, which is enormous for a person who works at a mall shoe store.
Well, I just wrote this story about this administrator at Yale, and she was allowed to make purchases. She worked for the medical school under $10,000 without any approval. So she would buy, like, computers or tablets, and then she'd be like, they're for an ongoing medical study. And over the course, she had started working for the school in 2008. And by 2021, she had embezzled more than $40 million. Oh
my God.
And she, like, owned 2 properties in Connecticut and also a house in Georgia. And everyone...
Nothing to see here, folks.
Was like, you're a what now? You're a college administrator? Like, I don't really understand how we got to this point.
I like
she took Kim's... Like, she kind of took Kim's advice.
Good for her.
She was working.
So
kind of. 90% of the orders that she placed were fraudulent. So Yale was like, yeah, no problem. We'll foot the bill for that computer that never showed up.
Yeah.
And it just happened once. It happened for decades.
Yeah. It's
That's
just,
fun.
Scary. Note
Anyway.
to self, apply it.
I know.
Well, wait, Brett, what degree? Do you have a bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can teach.
I wasn't gonna. Why would I want to be a teacher? I need to be an administrator. Clearly,
Yeah, teachers have to do work. Administrators can just, because she would, like, buy tablets and then be like, hey, they're going to this research project, and then she would sell them somewhere else.
So taking her advice, this is from page 6. It says, Kim Kardashian claims her viral quote advising women in business to get your effing ass up and work was taken out of context.
Was it now?
I really do believe that we live in a world that's like, I'm like starved for context with everything we do here. We're going to cover that more in one of these segments regarding the Oscars, how much context actually matters and how much framing changes everything. And that's what happens. Like, I can imagine when they say something, they can already say the moment they're done, they're like, oh, they're going to soundbite the shit out of that, and I'm screwed. So it says, well, that statement that I said was without question and without questions and conversation around it, it became a soundbite, really with no context. Kardashian, 41, told Good Morning America co-anchor Robin Roberts on Friday. Kardashian explained that in the viral Variety video, she was responding to the question and notion that she has been in the business for 20 years, yet she is still thought of as being famous for being famous. It wasn't a blanket statement towards women or to feel like I don't respect the work or think that they don't work hard, she clarified. I know what they do. It was taken out of context, but I'm really sorry if it was received that way, which is a non-apology. I mean, she doesn't have anything to apologize for. She's not responsible for how other people
kind of did her apology tour last week, and now we're on to, like, okay, I said sorry, but now I'm frustrated.
Yes, she's getting annoyed now.
And I get what she's saying. Like, I have said for many moons now that Kim Kardashian actually does work extremely hard.
Yes, she does.
And that was also true before she was famous. I think she does have access to some privileged connections.
Yeah, and she was born into wealth.
Right.
But
she has never denied that. And also, like, that doesn't make her less of a hard worker or strategic planner. I think what's interesting about her, like, defense of this is, like, it's taken out of context, but I'm really sorry if it was received that way. Sometimes that comes across as me as, like,
it's not an apology.
Have you ever had someone say to you, like, I'm sorry if that upset you, or
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're upset right now.
But
But it's also, they don't say anything else. They're like, I am sorry if you're experiencing negative emotions. I don't feel responsible for them, but I'm sorry that you're going through this thing.
yes, I sympathize.
It's sort of like a distancing herself from this. Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry if it was received that way. You know, if she were more sincere in the apology, and I'm not saying she has to be, she might say like, I'm sorry if my words
Does she
negatively impacted.
Does she own a
female
PR firm? I feel like she should
She
own it.
is her PR.
I know, but I'm saying she should start her own.
I think she must work with one. But I'm sure a lot of it has moved from being outside,
Yeah.
like contracting with outside people, to being like in-house management. I do have to say, under this little gray box that says like more on Kim Kardashian, there's a headline that says Kim Kardashian shares Pete Davidson's "My Girl is a Lawyer" tattoo. And I just want to point out, because people are like, that's so cute, but she is actually not a lawyer.
She's not.
I'm not going to brag on her about this, but she did fail the bar, I think, twice.
Before she passed the baby
So-
bar, yeah.
She's not a lawyer.
Well, Pete isn't exactly known for his laser pointed accuracy.
I just don't like. I feel like it's worth noting that he got a tattoo for you that's not even real.
Now she's like, no, I have to become a lawyer, otherwise she has to make
Maybe.
the tattoo come true.
Fair enough.
Maybe he was like,
Also-
Kim, babe, you keep putting off that test. I need you to do it. What are you gonna?
You
and he
can't be my girl
he
until you're a lawyer.
He gets that tattoo. He's like, what are you gonna prove me? What are you gonna make me a liar? Why would you do that?
The other thing is, like, how long have they been seeing each other? Like,
4 months.
she said that I watched her do this interview with Ellen where she's like, he has multiple tattoos for me. And it's like, you've been seeing each other for 4 months and he has multiple tattoos. Like, red flag there,
Yeah, dude.
Kimberly.
Yeah.
I know you just dated Kanye, but like, that guy's being weird.
Yep. I also, another example of like media framing is what they labeled it in the screenshot says Kim Kardashian speaks out. Just the term speaks out implies like she's like speaking out
Now
against.
she's being victimized. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, she speaks out against all the trolls and meanie heads that are yeah.
How
Yeah.
cute.
I think it's hard because it's like you should have sometimes I feel like she's like, well, I don't totally disavow that sentiment. I do
Yeah.
think you have to work hard. Like, I had to work hard too. And I think if it's a comment on the fact that a lot of people feel like if they can just get enough attention online, things will fall into place. And that's actually not true.
The work never ends.
No.
You're always going to be working.
On the other hand, like, look, some people don't like to hear hard things, and you can't just be like, oh, I'm sorry I upset you
Boo-hoo.
by saying the thing exactly what I meant to say.
Yeah, exactly. She she doesn't mean any less of what she said. She's just talking about, I'm sorry that you took it the wrong way. It says, my whole tone and attitude changed when the previous question that went into that question about what advice would you give to women, Kardashian said, and the advice that I would give is just that having a social media presence and being on a reality show does not mean overnight success. There are plenty of people who have been on reality shows that go nowhere, that just fade off back into
Yeah.
obscurity. There's a lot more work than that. So it says you have to
So that sentiment is real if that's what she's
Yes.
trying to express. Like, people are saying, like, she's saying, like, people just want to be famous and they think that makes them successful.
one day they become like a button gets hit that says now famous and everything becomes easy after
Yeah.
that. And that's not the way
That's
the
not
world
true at all.
works. Kardashian made the controversial comments during a February interview with Variety alongside sister Khloe Kardashian and Kourtney Kardashian and her mom Kris Jenner. Okay, then they just go down and recoil it. Then there several people argued that Kim's comments were tone deaf considering she was born into an already charmed life. Also, being rich helps, says journalist Soledad O'Brien. They're not wrong about kind of at least pushing back on the fact that she was born into wealth. But like I said, being born and given $1 million, if you make $1 billion, that does not matter. Like it matters that you started with it, but you turned $1 million into $1 billion.
Well, and I think being like, hey, sometimes you just have to dig in and work hard. Not that you aren't already, but like that is the key to success. Like, I get the criticism of like, well, just because people are working hard and they aren't as wealthy as you, like,
Yeah.
I understand where that may feel insensitive coming from someone who is as financially successful as Kim. On the other hand, like, we just need to have hard conversations with all of our, like, as a culture and say, like, what is actual success? Is it being famous on Instagram? Is it having billions of dollars? What's a realistic measure of success? Is it being able to provide stability for your family, for yourself? Like,
Theoretically, everyone should define it differently.
I would also be frustrated if I was working really hard and I wasn't a billionaire. If I thought that was a realistic goal. You know
Miracle's
what I mean?
like, if I could own a plushie company, that would be success.
I am the plushie company.
But like, there's no
What are you
reason she
talking about?
couldn't do that. But like, if you're working a job where you make $45,000 a year or $65,000 a year or $100,000 a year,
Depending on how many dependents you have.
depending on how many dependents you have, depending on how you use your money, like you can understand that in the next year you're probably not going to be a billionaire.
That's
right?
true.
And neither was Kim Kardashian. Like she made her money over time.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like, yes, I get that someone wealthy telling you to work is frustrating. On the other hand, like that doesn't negate the fact that it's good advice.
Yeah, that's it's like they want to discount it just because of where it came from. And
Yeah.
that's because it offends them, and that to me is a sure sign of like if you could get that likely that person could get that same advice from somebody in a different position, and they'd find another excuse to not take the advice or to say that the system's rigged against them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like for me, it's the same thing. Like how, what is that one song? Oh, Destiny's Child, where they're talking about like, there's two different songs that they wrote where it's talking about their ideal man. They want one ideal man that they're talking about, like, I want a guy who's strong and can protect me. But then they made another song that says, I want a guy that can pay my bills. It's the same thing. Like,
I want both. Is that okay?
yeah, can I just have both? Like, can I have a guy that's
I think Britney Spears has a song that's like, you want a new car, you want a new body, like you have to work.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's literally called like work. I don't know if I'm
Exactly.
Work, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
So-
this is not new advice from wealthy females.
Exactly. Like, you guys gotta remember, like, again, like, she did work her ass off, like, literally and figuratively.
Well, she worked her ass on.
It's complicated.
Look, it's
She also
complicated.
had her ass worked on.
Yes.
From what I understand.
She worked.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. It's biology. It's anatomy. It's all this stuff. Trust us.
Yeah. Trust the science.
Trust exactly.
Yeah, but, like, again, like, she's a hardworking woman because, like, again, like, if you were, like, in her position working her job, you wouldn't know what the first thing to do. And, like, if you posted something wrong, you can shut down that whole business in one day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or at
So-
least do a lot of brand damage.
The
Yeah,
thing
exactly.
about this, like, speaking out apology tour that would bother me, and it doesn't seem to get addressed here, and I don't know if she did it in the complete interview with, I guess, ABC or whoever, she doesn't respond to the backlash on social media that came directly from people who she employed, who were like,
Yeah, she leaves that out.
I worked really hard for you and was not able to support myself or was really struggling. And I think this justification of her context, or I was thrown off by the question before me, it changed my energy. Like, I understand those things and I can accept them, but she is sidestepping the major issue to me, which is like, you had people who work for your companies who responded directly saying hard work was not enough for me to be successful in the empire you have built.
Yeah.
So hard work is not enough in the in the KKW beauty or whatever it is.
Yep.
By the way, is she gonna drop the W from her company?
She already. Oh, it's not off for her company. It's off for her Instagram. So I think she's slowly.
I doubt you would take it off your company. You have to redo all of your packaging.
All the branding would have to
Yeah.
change. She should just have to find a different meaning for the W.
Women.
yeah.
There-
Kim Kardashian women.
That's
Kim
perfect.
Kardashian work.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like again, it's kind of weird because like you were talking about earlier, like what's the true definition of like minimum wage, and like some of these employees are like, well, you didn't pay me enough. Like, how do you justify like paying them more if like depending what their job is? If it's like her personal assistant, then yeah, maybe give them a little bit more money because that's a hard
The
job.
personal assistant makes a lot of money, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If somebody's
Well,
working directly, if we're talking like basically skin to skin contact, she hands her phone, she types something out. That person that connects to this is making good money.
Yeah, and I also think that they pay higher because there's a level of confidence in that person.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could understand where there's an employee.
Executive assistants make a lot of money.
Sure, and I have interned at companies that pay nothing. Like, you know, there are points of the company where I understand you're not able to support yourself, you're not making a lot of money, but, you know, I would have liked to see her respond with like, yeah, that's true. You know, people at our entry level are, you know, paid California minimum wage or whatever it is, but we retain 80% of our staff. This many people are able to work up through our corporate structure. Like,
Yeah.
we reward hard work, and she just never addressed it. And I think that is, I don't know if it's a misstep because maybe she doesn't want to address it. You know, maybe that's intentional, but that's what I would.
She might have wanted that out of the
That's
cycle
part of
as
the
quickly as possible.
Right. That's the part of the controversy I wish she would have addressed, because that's the most serious thing for me. Like, I don't care if random journalist or other actress is upset with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting to hear from employees how they are being treated by this so-called mogul.
Definitely.
Yeah. I don't know. We have to search up each one of their paychecks now.
I don't think that's possible.
Maybe they'll just listen to the show and tell us.
That would be fantastic.
That would
if
be
you did.
cool, Brett. Turn on your charm so you can get more friends with these people.
You want Brett to have more friends? He doesn't even hang out with us already. He's so busy.
That's true. I have to invade his space to hang out with him.
It's a rough life, man.
Oh, boo-hoo, you introvert.
Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.